twice before, I've interviewed Lori Vallow-Daybell in jail, in person. Well, she got in trouble in jail, so this time our only option was by video or phone. Lori started this whole thing off by holding up a picture of her and her husband, Chad Daybell, and this is how the interview began. This all ends on Friday. Sentence, this is done. It's really the end of your connection with the outside world. How do you feel about this ending?
I don't feel like it's an ending of anything. I was convicted in the media long before I ever went to trial. You know this, everybody knows this.
But you have to understand, the media coverage came because your kids are dead. And if Chad Daybell had never come into your life, would your kids still be alive today?
No, if you understood what actually happened to my children, then you would know that it didn't have anything to do with Chad.
But they ended up dead and buried on Chad's property.
I understand.
At this point, the video went down. Nobody could get it back up and working. The woes of trying to communicate with somebody in jail. So we continued by phone. And this is where it gets really interesting, the back and forth between me and Lori about the deaths of her kids, Tylee and JJ. Back in 2019, she wouldn't say a word about where they were when they went missing. But now, for the first time, she's talking about how she says she found them dead. And you told me that Tylee took JJ's life and then her own. How then would Tylee be able to dismember herself and bury herself if she killed herself?
So Brianna, my love for my children is eternal, and my children are eternal, and they're just in the next phase of their eternal life. And if people understood that, then they wouldn't be so set on things that happen here in this life.
But they were killed. And so how would she have buried herself if she did it herself? I think people need to know that answer.
Well, that's a ridiculous question that anybody could bury themselves.
Who buried them there?
You have 1 minute remaining. So we all know that was Alex. So that's all come out.
Alex buried them there. So Alex was the one that killed them.
No one killed them. And I'm not going to go into that again.
Did you physically watch your children die?
So I did not, absolutely. And, you know, there's so much going on now, so much going on here in Arizona with the cases and everything. I thought that that's what you wanted to talk about.
And it's all connected into the same web of what happened. And so we're at the end now, and I want to hear the truth from you.
You know, I wasn't there. Tylee was babysitting. I found them afterwards. It was several hours afterwards. It was horrible. It was the worst thing that ever happened in my life. And there's not much more I can tell you about that. You can never be prepared to lose your children. You just can't. But there's no worse tragedy.
It's just, this sounds so crazy.
I was preparing so much.
It sounds crazy considering you were convicted of killing your kids.
Well, I attribute that to the media. I don't attribute that to the facts.
Okay, so let me ask you this. Do you believe you're smarter than the investigators that handled your cases?
No, I don't believe I'm smarter than anybody. I've never made that proclamation. I just know truth, and they don't know the truth because they weren't there. Lori claims to me Tylee and JJ were always going to die young and that they, quote, fulfilled their missions. Tomorrow is her last connection with the outside world as she faces sentencing for what happened to Charles Vallow and Brandon Boudreaux. Then she'll be shipped back to Idaho, where she's going to face life sentences for the murders of her children. On Friday, will you have empathy for Charles' family and Brandon's family, who will get up in court and speak their feelings and their truth? Yeah, absolutely. I have empathy for every human being, and I mourn with those that mourn. Like, I mourn the loss of Charles. People don't understand. I'm not upset with anyone for having the feelings that they had. Many of them feel like you are evil. Well, they can have whatever feelings that they want to have, and the truth will be made known at some point. But I think most people would argue that your reality is a delusional reality. Well, they can think that if they want to. I mean, everyone is going to find out that that is not true. But we're all going to be there together, Brianna, you and me and everybody in heaven. And when you and I are there, Brianna, you can come up to me and say, "Oh, Lori, you were right." And I'll say, "I love you, Brianna." Well, no matter what you thought, or no matter what you judged me of, or whatever, I love you.
And with that, we will be in court Friday morning, the very end of the Lori Vallow-Daybell saga. Guys, I'll send it back to you.